Students, today we're going to be continuing with ancient Mesopotamia, and in particular, we're going to be talking about cuneiform, or the first system of writing that we have evidence of for our civilizations. And today we're going to be working out of the assignment called cuneiform. And here are the directions. Here are our plans for today. Highlighted text indicates that you need to write and submit information to this assignment. Ensure you've completed all requirements in the what to submit section near the bottom. Participation will be rewarded for participating in class discussion if we happen to work on this lesson together. And for these, I'm going to try to keep kind of like a time frame on this because we're working with thousands of years. Sometimes we're like going from place to place and it's like, oh my goodness, where are we? So we're thinking maybe about 3,200 BC, or this would be about 5,000 years ago if we're thinking in today's terms. So 5,000 years ago when we're really discovering our first form of writing, and that's what we call cuneiform. And so the first thing I want us to look at is this super interesting image where we can decipher some of the meanings of cuneiform to our modern language. Okay, and this kind of blows my mind every time I look at it. So in theory, the way language originated is that the words themselves are supposed to kind of look like what they're describing, right? And so we're seeing this over time. So it's going from 3,500 BC all the way to 500 BC. And we take something like the sun. It starts out looking like this rudimentary little shape type of thing. It adds some layers to it. Like, if you ever drawn a sun, like, I'm a terrible artist. So I try to draw a sun and I just kind of make squiggly lines with a circle in like the core, like the edge of the paper. And it kind of looks like the second one, this archaic cuneiform. And then it changes again here. God in heaven, right? It starts out kind of looking like the sun, maybe up in the sky, heavens up in the sky. Mountain, we have these little arches. Okay, that kind of looks like mountains, right? That's how I might draw mountains whenever I'm thinking about it. Man looks interesting. You can see like, okay, kind of like a dude like laying down, right? This is his head and this is the rest of his body. This is baffling whenever I look at this. I think it's amazing. An ox, I don't know how that looks like an ox. I don't. But a fish, it looks hilarious how this would have looked. And so really think about our original writing is kind of just like, I don't know, drawing pictures of what these things are supposed to look like. And then we've since adapted our modern language to reflect those, or to maybe look a little bit like the original things. And that's how language was developed. This is where history becomes super important and where we're able to really get recorded pieces of history and really gain a lot of knowledge about these civilizations. And trying to decipher old languages is just a study within itself. Step 2, let's watch this video. How long? Okay, so they're making these little symbols and they're putting them in clay. And then they're making that like dry and harden, and then they're preserving it. How long do we think this takes? Okay, it's not like typing or writing today. This takes time, okay? So let's watch this video together.
Because the Cyrus cylinder was meant for a Babylonian audience, it was written in the Babylonian language.
Babylon, one of the main time periods or empires within the Mesopotamia region,
which is a Semitic tongue related to the modern languages of Hebrew and Arabic and Aramaic. The writing system which Cyrus's officials used was the traditional cuneiform script, which had been invented in ancient Iraq well before 3000 BC. It is written by pressing a stylus, something a bit like a chopstick. into the surface of the clay, which is nearly dry, and the signs which convey the sound of the language consist of different arrangements of these strokes. They're written one by one, and the reader has to join them up, and the sound emerges from the clay. This is the line that says, I am Kurash, Shar Kishshati, king of the world, the great king, king of Babylon, and so it goes on.
How many people do you think knew how to do this? Besides for having the resources of these pressing sticks and this clay and the time to do it, how many people do you think actually could read this at the time? Start thinking about the inequalities between different parts of society, because some people know how to read, some people know how to write in this ancient cuneiform, and just some people don't. Does it still apply to them? Can laws be made about other people without them being able to actually write in that system? What disadvantages could this cause if you go out into a market or an economy? You don't know how to write or read this stuff, but this other person does. There are disadvantages to the system by making it kind of like the standard for some of these higher up officials.
So we're going to write Kurash. So the first sign, Ku, has a big vertical, two small horizontals, one bigger horizontal, a little vertical, and another horizontal, like a box. This is Ku. Then Ra, we have three strong horizontals to begin, one big one next to it, and then one little vertical wedge, and one bigger vertical wedge. Ku, Ra. Now we do Ash, which is three long horizontals, Komsa, and then a vertical in the middle. So we can read this, Ku, Ra, Ash, the name of Cyrus.
Imagine how long it took somebody to figure that out. Baffling. So I have this little, like, it's just a little stupid thing, but it's this website that translates your name into cuneiform. So you can go to the website, fill out your name, initials, and hit inscribe. You can receive 5 bonus points if you take a picture of your cuneiform name and make it your Canvas profile picture. I'll be looking out for that. And then step 4, that can be that's 5 bonus points. And then step 4, you're picking one of these options, okay? And then submit your choice to this assignment. I want you to come up with and explain 3 pros and 3 cons, or 3 positives and 3 negatives by having a system of writing. Consider the economic, political, and social elements that come with a written language. You must identify 3 pros and 3 cons of a system of writing. Explain each of your pros and cons. Think about this in every way of life. When you have people who can do something and people who can't do something, think about how that perpetuates or extends inequality of any way between levels of society. Some people don't know how to do something. What effect does that have on the greater population? What effects does it have on politics? If you're able to write something and put it on a big sign, how is that different from it being spoken to the people? It is different. It is different. If you have people who specialize in this, do they get some advantages that other people don't get? Maybe. Does this give way to teachers who are able to learn and give this system to other people and help them learn the system? It might. Actually, it does, for sure. Or option B, you can make your own cuneiform tablet and take a picture of it, or use the site for inspiration. All you need is some clay and some wooden sticks for the best results. If you can write your name, or you write a law similar to the Code of Hammurabi, which would be amazing. Your tablet must be made out of crafts with clay, wooden sticks, or whatever you can find that works. Have an inscription that has your name or a law from this time period, or use inspiration from the cuneiform symbols in step 1, 2, and 3. So what you're submitting, if you want bonus, you can have your cuneiform name as your Canvas profile picture, or and you want to do your choice of 4A or 4B. And that's it, cuneiform. I love this stuff. It is so interesting to see how this type of stuff develops and how it adds to our historic knowledge. Otherwise, if there's anything I can do to help you out, please let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful day.